All right. Well, thank you for coming on here today, Sam Staskal. Wait, Staskal.
Staskal, yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank
I
you.
just I appreciate you coming aboard and taking a few moments here to chat with me today. For people who don't know you, tell everyone where you're from and and how long you've been in the business.
Yep. I live and work in Southwest Wisconsin. I live in Platteville. It's a town of about 12,000 people. I've been an agent for, it'll be 2 years in May.
2 years in May. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And you are most commonly known as what? The realtor who fell?
Yeah. Yeah. The funny realtor.
Yep. Yeah,
definitely. Yep, that's me.
You definitely are the funny realtor. You've got
the clumsy one. Yep.
Yeah. So I wanted to have you on today because your video went viral.
Yes.
Like how many views did you get on that video that you did?
Last time I checked, it was 26 million.
26 million?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And really, really insane. So I wanted to find out when you went into it, what was your intention when you held up that phone in the car to record the realtor who fell?
Well, I will say at that time, my business Facebook page had about 250 people on it, mostly friends and family or former coworkers or clients. Now it has over 100,000 followers on it. Yes. So that's what the video did for me. But my whole point of posting it to those 250, I didn't think anybody'd really watch it, other than like my mom and my kids and, my aunts and my sister. So I had just posted just to give them a laugh because I was just dying. I was just dead. But yeah, so I just posted it and forgot about it, didn't even think about it again. And I was busy all the next day. So I hadn't gotten back on Facebook until almost 24 hours later. And by then it was already over 1 million views. Yeah. So it happened very quickly and I was completely oblivious to it. I was on the river. I had no idea. No idea.
So you were just doing your own thing, floating on the river and and just went about your business and it just took off.
Yes.
So it wasn't because I think that's one of the things that, comes up often is what's the premeditation? Did you have some social media strategy?
Oh. No, I didn't. Actually, my managing broker at the time, before I switched brokerages, had challenged me to do 60 videos in 60 days. Just because we've all been told the video's where it's at, but to discipline yourself to consistently make videos is tough,
right.
And I fail at it. Most people don't do daily videos like we should, even if they're just 1 to 2 minute videos,
right.
We don't take advantage of that like we should. So with her in mind, and just because it was hilarious,
it was very
I decided to make a video about it. And I remember my mom, because I said a swear word in it, I remember my mom called me right away and she's like, "Oh my God, are you going to get in trouble because you said the S word?" And I'm like, I don't know, I just I don't know.
Like your broker is gonna, hey Sam, you shouldn't be using the 4-letter S word.
She's like, it wasn't very professional. And like, yeah, but there's no other word to describe it, it just, I don't know. So it was a risk. It was a risk because I swore, but I was willing to, suffer the consequences, I guess.
Yeah, swear to share. Really?
Yeah.
And I think that's really why it went so viral, is because you did it like a very open-hearted candid response, and thinking you were just sharing it amongst your little group of your circle of friends, right?
Right.
And had no idea how much that would go and blow. So I want to ask, how have you been able to use this funny, one-hit wonder? I guess maybe it wasn't. Now it's not, because you're continuing to produce, content. But tell me about how you've been able to snowball that video to help your business.
First of all, I wouldn't have joined EXP and partnered with Angela and Chuck Fazio if my video had not gone viral. You and I wouldn't have met had my video not gone viral. So
Sure.
I've met a lot of influential people in the business because of that video, and I've made a lot of connections worldwide because of that video. So it's all been good. I mean, I've talked to people all over the world.
Yeah. You're like the perfect example of like, an opportunity can be found at every turn or upturn. I guess.
And I think the biggest fear that agents have, we know the power of video, but the biggest fear that most agents have is that they're afraid they won't be perfect. Like their video won't be good enough. They'll screw up, they'll fumble the words, and then they won't post it because it's not perfect. And I'm not perfect. I'm pretty quirky. I fumble on words all the time. I say the wrong word all the time.
Yeah.
And it's what you get. It's me, and I think that's what people are drawn to, is the fact that I'm authentic and honest, and I'm a good laugh.
That's actually very true, because you're showing the real side of yourself. Like, you've got this site now, keeping it real in real estate, right? And you're continuing to show the sense of humor in real estate. Like, I just saw one of your videos talking about you were laying in the bathtub and sleeping on the carpet at
an open house.
At an open house.
Yeah.
It was an open house with like very little traffic, except for, when you get the traffic.
Right. And he like scared the crap out of me because I was like laying on the carpet and in the tub, and I'm like, oh my God, somebody's here. And I'm like, quick, hang up. And I had to run out and greet him. And he snuck up on me.
And I'm sure this is definitely helped you grow your business, period. Like, because you originally fell.
Yes.
In what month was that? How long ago?
It was the end of August.
August you fell. And are you getting people calling you to list and sell their property now, more so than you were that because of your following?
Yes and no. I've had some calls where they're saying, like I had one recently. I listed a property because the wife saw my video. She reached out to me through Facebook to ask which area I covered. And I told her, she goes, okay, I told my husband he has to use me or use you. So she says, what's your number? And I sent my number, and the husband calls me the next day and he says, well, my wife tells me I have to use you. So I'm assuming you're interested. I'm like, of course I'm interested, you're in my area. Yeah. And I said, don't worry, you'll fall in love with me too, Don't
worry. Because you create that instant trust and instant rapport that we're all going to make mistakes. It's not perfect, but you're going to be honest and you're going to be real about it.
Right. And that's what I tell other agents that I've talked to, like some are just starting out. And I said, the biggest thing is just be honest. If you don't know the answer to the question, it's okay to say, I don't know, but I will reach out to my broker and get back to you. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything, because we're still learning. Like I said, I've been in the business for two years. I've done a lot of transactions, but I still learn something with every one.
That was actually, I have my notebook. This is what I keep. I write down questions in advance. So I'm a highlighter, like, okay.
So I'm jumping ahead.
I talked about that. No, you went right into it. It's actually, you went right into it. Like, because you said I was going to say, what have you learned? Like, you've learned from this, this little turn of events, I guess, topsy turn of events, whatever. You've learned what all has really manifested in you. Have you learned from that little experience? Like you said, don't be perfect, right? You talked about just delivering content. You were challenged to deliver some content. Yeah. And like, what's next for you? Like, what else are some of the lessons that are unrolling and unfolding for you now?
I think it's just like I'm making 2021 the year of like personal connections, to connect with more people on a personal level. And I've done that by like chatting with people worldwide via Zoom. The thing with real estate is the work that you do today, you don't see the payoff, for like 3 months. It's not going to happen instantly in most cases. You're building those relationships, those referrals, and eventually it'll come. And I think the way that I build my business is I break it down into small chunks. So like my goal is to get a sign in 1 yard. And if I do that, great, because then that brings more buyers. It brings, other people see my name. So it just like blows up from there, but it just takes the one sign that you have to focus your energy on to meet that goal. And then the rest kind of comes together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So I'm not looking at like, hey, for this year, I want to do, 30 transactions. No, I'm looking at, I want to get my sign in the yard this week. What can I do to get the sign in the yard this week? And then the rest will build on that.
Yes. You're building on the back of micro commitments or let's just focus on the small things that are in your control.
Right. Today. What can you do today?
Right. What can you do today? And you're also creating quite a network, as it seems, with other real estate agents pouring into you with their funny stories.
Yes. And some of them are fantastic, let me tell you. Well, I mean, I've been in absolute tears with some of them. It's just, hilarious. There's so much to laugh at in this business, and some people take it so seriously and they feel like a failure if something goes wrong. But it's like, did you close the deal? You closed the deal. Okay, then it's a success. Might not have went off as planned, but you still closed the deal, so it's still success.
Right.
It's not how you intended to get there.
Yeah.
But that's my whole life. It's not how I intended to get there, but I got there.
Well, that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
It might not have been what you intended. Like, right? You did that video that was hilarious, and you didn't intend for your dress to be over your head. You didn't. That was not intentional. But then, from something that you were planting seeds and really wanting, then something really great occurred. You became connected with people all over the world.
Yep.
Probably wanting to know what color your underpants were, but maybe
they asked that. Yes. I'm like, I don't remember. I just know they weren't pretty. I learned my lesson. I got it.
Yeah. But, one little thing, if you put your intention out there, who knows how it's going to unfold and it's going to manifest, right?
Right.
And then it's what do you do with that seed of opportunity and how can you roll with what happened and make the best of a situation?
Yes.
And I think you're doing a really good job with that. Like, I've been following your posts about, what you're talking about with the keeping it real?
Yeah.
With the interviewing agents and telling and sharing their funny stories.
Oh, that's funny things that happen to real estate agents. That's what that is.
Funny things that happen to real estate agents. Okay. Yes. And I've been following some of those stories and what's happening. And I just think it's just a phenomenal way to create such a network and to create community amongst agents. Right.
Right.
And what a referral business opportunity for you.
Yeah. I mean, I probably have a referral in every state. A referral partner that I know.
Yeah.
And most of the people I've met are just as lighthearted as I am, so it works out. There's certain personalities that you automatically get along with, and there's other ones that are more work for your personality type, and I think for the most part, the people I've met mesh with my personality well. Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen with buyers, sellers, other agents, that are here in this, that are contributing to your story and to your platform. That's just going to be people that are drawn to you. And you know what? That's the good news, because those are the kinds of people that you want to work with.
Right. It makes it easy and it makes it fun. You know, if you can enjoy what you're doing. And, this is the biggest investment most people will make, is buying a home. So yes, it's a serious issue. You should take it seriously. It is a big commitment. It is a big deal. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun while you're doing it.
I look up to you. I do, because it can be very heavy.
Yes, it can. I mean, I've had people cry, like a seller cry because, she had to sell her home. I mean, she wanted to sell her home. She was ready to move on, but it was still very emotional to her. She kept apologizing to me. I'm like, don't apologize. It's a big deal. You have so many memories here. You raised your children here. It is a big deal. And that's part of moving on and moving forward, is that you have to make these changes. And I think that in order to grow, you have to change. So that's what I concentrated on doing, is changing my ways and growing.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And what are your goals for the for 21 really? Where are you at now? For like what's your big goals for this
To
year?
survive. To survive. No, I, like I said, at the beginning of the year, my goal is this year to spread kindness and just build personal connections.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm focused on doing and talking to different people. And I think like I did a 30 by 30, which is where I talk to a stranger every day for 30 minutes via Zoom for the month of January. So I just wrapped it up. Actually, I have a couple this week still. And that was just anybody that was interested in chatting for 30 minutes. We had set up a time when we would do it. And I was just amazed at the number of people that wanted to do it. Somebody's like, isn't it kind of weird that you're going to meet with these strangers? I'm like, well, I guess I'm kind of weird. I don't know. But I like it. I think it's good practice to talk to people in all walks of life and personality types. And, I hate cold calling. But if I could cold Zoom somebody, I would totally do it. Like if I can have 15 minutes of your time via Zoom, will you talk to me? I'm there,
Right.
I think it's just so much more personable to do things video and online than it is to ever call somebody,
Yeah. You get more body language. Much more of a connection. You can see the smile. It's not for the frown.
Plus, I have a little bit of a different sense of humor. So a lot of people might take me wrong if they can't see me laughing, or smirking. They might think that I'm like insulting. And I'm like, I'm not, not at all.
Yes.
So I don't want people to get the wrong idea through text or me talking to them on the phone, because they're totally going to miss some of my humor,
Yeah. Gotcha. And that you are being genuine.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, because I think the lessons that come from your falling down video, I think there's some real nuggets in there. Just about not getting it perfect and continuing to try and to keep it lighter, right?
Right.
And don't take it so serious. And sometimes you think you're just trying to make a little splash, and it could be huge.
It could be your next big break. You never know.
Keeping faith.
Yes. I can't promise it's going to happen again, but I can promise you that I'm going to fall down again, because I do it often, so there's that.
Some better shoes or something. I don't know.
My mom used to, when I was growing up, I would fall constantly. She used to say that my feet were too big for my body. And I always joke now that my body must be too big for my feet, because I'm done growing taller, but not wider. So it must, that must affect my coordination.
Oh my gosh. Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you for popping on today.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time. And if anyone wants to reach you, what's the best way?
They can email me at samstaskalsells@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Your name's right here.
Or follow me on Facebook.
Or follow you. That's true. We can do that. All right. Like I am.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, thanks again for jumping on. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.